Ghetto Cowboy, Chapter 16. We turn a corner, and at the end of the street, I can see it. The park. After a few minutes, we leave the city behind us, and it's like we in the country all of a sudden. Trees everywhere. I can hear the wind blowing on the leaves as we make our way across the grass. We pass a swimming pool with a bunch of kids in it. Some of them see the horses and press their faces up against the chain-link fence to get a look. We mosey down a trail, past some tennis courts. The sound of the city is far off in the distance. I can hear birds chirping, something I ain't heard in a long time. I ease up, feel okay on Boo's back. Harp tells me Fairmount Park is one of the biggest parks in America. So big, you can even get lost in it. We ride, and for a good while, I can't see no buildings no more, only trees. We could be anywhere, 1,000 miles from the city. I ain't never seen so much trees and stuff. Then I hear it, laughing, music, cheering, and a rumble. We come out through some trees into a clearing, and I see what the rumbling is. 2 horses racing toward us faster than I ever thought a horse could go. They fly by us, 2 young guys hooting it up, and one of them raises his fist like he won. I look down the other way, and all the guys is there. Tex, Bob's, and then some. Cheering, cursing, paying off money. Behind them is a bunch of cars. Some women sitting on beach chairs with coolers and stuff. A few kids running around chasing each other. This is it, the speedway, Harp says. This is the speedway? It's just a strip of grass in a park. You was expecting Churchill Downs? This is where the real deal is. I shrug. Whatever you say. He laughs at me. Boy, what do you know? Black horse trainers started racing retired thoroughbreds here 100 years ago. How do you think the Chester Avenue tradition got started? The 2 racers come galloping up to us. Harper, we ain't seen you around here for a while, so it's true. You gonna race? I look at Harper, who scratches his head, glancing over at the crowd across the way. Maybe. What are they saying? The guy who won smiles. Big D says you too old, past your prime, and that Lightning's racing days are over and done. Who's racing his horse? They look at each other. You don't know? Carmelo. Harper's face changes, gets all grim. Who's Carmelo? I ask. Harper don't answer, so one of those guys pipes in. Carmelo's the new sheriff out here. You're nobody if you don't beat Carmelo, and nobody beats Carmelo. I beat him, Harp says. The guys look at each other. Yeah, Harp, but that was a long time ago. Last time, he whooped your... Harp raises his hand. He cheated. Cut me off. It's all on video. The guys look at each other, unsure. Harp shrugs. Hey, you want to bet against me? Go ahead. Just make sure it's money you don't need anymore because you ain't gonna be keeping it. He turns and ambles towards the starting line. Boo and me following along. When the other guys see him, a cheer goes up. I see Big D dressed in a bright red Sixers jacket and cap and big ol' shades. Well, 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 look who it is, the Lone Ranger and Tonto, he says, grinning. I have no idea what he's talking about. He looks at me. You his son, right? I nod. That's too bad. I hope you don't mind if my horse puts your daddy to shame. Hate to ruin his rep in front of you and all. I see Harp roll his eyes. I shrug. Don't make no difference to me. I'm joking, but Harp gives me a look out of the corner of his eye. He's coming, someone shouts. He ain't talking about Harper, 'cause heads turn away from us and the crowd splits apart as some slick-looking dude with gold-rimmed shades and a black head wrap rides in. I don't know nothing about horses, but that horse looks ripped, like it's built for speed. The guy rides right up to us, but ignores me. You came back for more? He says to Harp. I came back for a legit race, Carmelo. You gonna keep in your lane? Always do, Harp. You got lightning hopped up on special vitamins? Harper turns and spits. This horse is 100% natural. Always has been, always will be. They stare at each other. They stare each other down like I seen fighters do before a boxing match. Finally, Jamaica Bob interrupts. Well, guys, you heard it. It's the rematch of the century. Now, who's gonna put their money where their mouth is? Suddenly, there's like a rush, and everyone's holding out cash as Bob takes it and writes it down in a little black book. This one's even odds. Quarter-mile sprint. I don't know who's gonna win, but it's gonna be good, that's for sure. He turns to Harper and winks. Harper breaks off his stare and leans down to Bob. If I don't win, we'll both have to pack our bags. He hands me the rope attached to my saddle. Tie Boo up to that tree over there. Then you can watch with Bob. I look at Carmelo, acting all cocky. You gonna win this? I ask Harp. Why? What's it to you? I reach in my pocket. I got $10 to bet. You gonna win? He smiles, nods. Go make some money, son, he says, taking his cowboy hat and plopping it on my head. I ain't never wore no cowboy hat before. Don't you need this to race? I ask. But he's already galloping off to the starting line. I tilt my hat so I'll fly. Then I try to steer Boo over to the tree. But suddenly, he don't want to move. Giddy up! I yell. Nothing. Boo just stuck to the ground. Them kids who was washing horses earlier is laughing at us, having a good old time. Finally, I gotta get off and pull him by his rope. Carmelo passes by, shaking his head and mutters, You don't deserve to wear that hat. I give him the evil eye. I sure hope Harper puts him and Big D to shame.